friends, that we are a group of more than 70 working clusters in Poland, 150 altogether, but working daily working clusters is about 70, and we as a Polish Clusters Association, we are gathering this society, and today we have, today and tomorrow we have our annual event, which is Congress of Polish Clusters. Let me add also that in Poland, Polish Clusters Society is not only a group of tens of organizations, but there is about 3,500 companies which belongs to Polish clusters, which employed altogether more than 600,000 Polish employees. So we are group of companies. Majority of those companies are SMEs, but also universities, R&D institutions, etc. So this is my voice to you, to Spanish colleagues. Greetings from Katowice, which is capital of the most industrialized region of Poland. Just a few minutes ago we had speech of representative of Aragon from Spain, who said that seems that Aragon is a similar region to Silesia. So that's from us. But having this opportunity, tell us, Antonio, a few words about Spanish clusters. But please also remember that I'm going to say a few words to our audience. Please remember that Antonio, being president of European Cluster Alliance, has also privilege to tell us a few words about clusters in Europe generally, not only in Spain. Antonio, can you?
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm really glad to be able to, even from the hospital with my wife, but being able to connect with you, with the Polish Cluster Association and with the Cluster Mid-Region event in Poland. Indeed, it's also a wonderful occasion to twinning our Cluster Association. I don't know if you know, but Christoph is Vice President of the European Cluster Alliance, and in fact the first writing document creating the Cluster Alliance was signed in Warsaw, I think in 3 years ago. So the Polish Clusters has had a very important role together with the Spanish one. So this is one new testimony of what international cooperation inside the EU is able to do, and this is also a real statement of the volunteer, the wish to grow on those kind of collaboration between our countries and inside the European Union. The Spanish cluster, I would say that are strong, and we have around 100 cluster really working inside our country, representing something like, if I am not mistaken, near 50% of the net product billing in Spain. I would say that we are joining most of our most innovative companies, and as you know, some of our regions has been working with cluster policy for more than 30 years. That is the case of the Catalonian one. They are celebrating the 30th anniversary this December, and in the case of the Basque Country, even more. No? So we have very good references on, very good leaders on cluster policies. The Spanish Ministry of Industry implemented the cluster policy on something like 2005-06, if I am not mistaken, and I would really compliment the increase of the budget and the trust deposited by the in Ministry of Industry during the last years. You know, the budget this year has been multiplied near by 8. This is reflecting something that is is passing through Europe during these last years. No, the crisis has demonstrated the relevance of the networks and the cluster collaboration ecosystem in order to better coordinate the answer to the crisis from the industry side. And there are many references of clusters participating actively in the answer to those needs. And there are countries like, for example, Sweden or Finland, or now Ireland, the last one that I knew of, that are reinforcing the cluster community. Those that had before cluster policies are building on them, and those without cluster policy are starting to launch them. And this is great for us, but we need also to build capacities. Okay, it's not not only about innovation. It's very important. Innovation is very important, but we need also to work on investment, in facilitating investment, public-private collaboration for big projects, and and we need to also to learn how to support our cluster members on the green transformation, you know, not the digital one. So we need also to grow on internal capacities. Our entities, our organization needs to grow on staff, but also on knowledge and on activities, and we need to grow on relationships with other entities, with other networks, or with official states. You know, we need to participate in expert groups, in expert committees at regional, national, and international levels. So those are, in my opinion, our current challenges, and I am very, very proud of the organization, the European Cluster Alliance organization, the role that is playing on supporting that capacity building. Together with the ECCP, I want also to congratulate the way the ECCP is supporting cluster during the last years, the way the new activities that the ECCP, the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, has designed, meaning the cluster talks, the cluster mid-regions, that I think is really very good idea, very good series of events supporting clusters across the different regions, and the C2 labs and the cluster academy. You know, we have in our hands at this moment the right tools, the right partners. Now it's in our hands to build the right results. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonio. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, Antonio. Let me summarize my experience related to Spanish clusters. When I met you the first time, I was not aware that Spanish clusters society is so strong. Because in Poland, when we planned our Polish strategy, cluster policy, together with Polish Ministry of Economy at this time, after Ministry of Economic Development and Technology, we rather thought about Germany, about France as a very developed markets for clusters. But when I met Antonio 4 years ago now, I was really positively surprised by what has been achieved by Spanish clusters. This is really very strong. society. And the second element, which was mentioned by Antonio, very important, is about European Cluster Alliance. I said it today morning that when we established our organization 3 years ago, there were only 8 countries involved in this initiative, and now we have 19 countries, EU members, and their clusters who are members of ECA. Plus, additionally, this year after Russian aggression on Ukraine, just a sign of our solidarity with our Eastern friends, cluster friends, we joined to the organizations from 3 countries, Ukrainian clusters, Georgian clusters, and Moldavian clusters. And by the way, tomorrow morning we will have one of panel discussion about help which European clusters have organized to Ukrainian clusters, and how we can continue this help and cooperation with Ukraine. And for us in Poland, it is very important to look for good examples, for good practice in other countries, including Spain, and also in discussion with our local decision makers, policy makers on the local level, regional and country level, how to use some elements which has been adopted by other countries and use it in Poland. Okay, so our time is very short. Antonio, thank you very much for your time. Greetings for all friends from Spain, and I hope that we will see soon, and all the best for your wife as well.
Thanks to you. Have a very, very good event, and I hope, yes, to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Proszę Państwa.